far one of the best campaign songs this country has ever had, Nana Yewina track, which played a very key role in our campaign activities. Together with the remix that came on in 2008, 2012, and 2016. Indeed, his love for this country and how he carried himself in the last 30 years since he came to the scene. His songs have traveled both far and near. And indeed, his songs inspired so many people. Indeed, his songs even saved lives. Today, as we all mourn on his demise, on behalf of the New Patriotic Party, our thoughts and prayers are with his family, friends, and fans. And indeed, may his soul rest in perfect peace until the last day of resurrection. Amen. Yesterday, our party also celebrated its 33rd anniversary. And the party has lined up several programs which, in the course of the week, we will inform the general public. There are several issues that are happening in this country that the New Patriotic Party is very worried and has necessitated the need for us to also address the media. The first one is the drought currently happening in the northern part of our country that is affecting our farmers. We sympathize with our farmers. We know they are going through challenging times because of the drought. And indeed, it's going to affect the farming season. We are calling on the government, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC government, to pay or give special attention to our farmers who are going through these difficult moments, and for the government to also come out with a package that will also cushion them. The issue of Bawku crisis is something that is very worrying. It's something that we, the New Patriotic Party, is very extremely concerned about. Human lives are being lost each and every day. Innocent students are being murdered each and every day. Innocent citizens are also losing their lives each and every day, all not because of their own choice, but because of where they find themselves in, and also because of a particular tribe that they belong to. Indeed, it should serve as a caution to the NDC government that in politics, it is not everything that we allow propaganda, misrepresentation to lead us. Most importantly, when it has to do with issues of chieftaincy, when it has to do with issue of religion, when it has to do with issue of ethnicity or tribe, it's something that politicians, we need to tread cautiously. Ladies and gentlemen, if you recall, prior to the 2024 elections, the NDC, in their desperate attempt to win elections, said all manners of things, inciting tribalism, religious divisions, creating problems even in our traditional setup, all in their quest to win the 2024 elections. To the extent that the then candidate, Mahama, made several pronouncements and wanted to take advantage of the crisis in Bawku by accusing the then government, led by His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, that when the NDC comes to power, Bawku crisis will be resolved. And in fact, if we see or we realize issues that happened in Bawku prior to the 2024 elections, you can tell that indeed the NDC orchestrated several tribal issues in Bawku. And that is why we find ourselves in this unprecedented crisis in Bawku. But for us in the New Patriotic Party, for the sake of our democracy, for the sake of people's lives that matters, we are ever ready to assist the government in finding a lasting solution in Bawku. And therefore, we are calling on the NDC government to treat this matter as a matter of national interest and shield away their political tendencies and interests, and to call all other political parties, especially the New Patriotic Party, to a roundtable discussion for us to look at a lasting solution to the Bawku crisis. And I can assure you, anytime they reach out to the New Patriotic Party, for the sake of this country, we will open our doors and have a round discussion with them to find a lasting solution to Bawku crisis. We will continue to commend the Asantehene and the eminent chiefs who have taken the initiative to provide a lasting solution to Bawku crisis. But they cannot achieve all this if political parties don't come together to give them the helping hand and support. So I will reiterate again, the New Patriotic Party is ready to sit on a round table with the NDC government for the sake of lives, for the sake of properties in Bawku, so that at least we have a lasting solution. Again, we are also calling on the government to address the issue of galamsey in this country. In fact, what we are witnessing in the last 6-7 months of the NDC government is unprecedented. The manner in which people who are associated with the NDC, their party executives, their members are moving around freely and going into our forest reserves, going into water bodies to do galamsey, and even to the extent of driving away security agencies or officers from well-protected sites because they want to do galamsey is alarming. In fact, what we have witnessed in the last 7 years is so worse, so bad, and so dangerous for our country that we never witnessed such in the last 8 years of the NPP government. And it's a shame. And we are calling on civil society organizations, our clergy, our CSOs, to stand up, to rise up, and speak against what is happening to our water bodies and forest reserves. Indeed, if in the last 8 years they saw something wrong with the galamsey menace, then they should see something worse as happening under the NDC government. And we are calling on them to speak against it. The other issue has to do with selective justice and abuse of power going on under this government. For the first time in our history, we are witnessing the reckless and politically motivated suspension of a sitting Chief Justice. This disgraceful act is a direct attempt to cripple judicial independence and bend the course to serve the agenda of the ruling party. Indeed, it is a dangerous precedent that threatens the very foundation of our democracy. We are not surprised by recent pronouncements of some of the courts. And we are all in this country and we know what is happening. That certain judgments being given by the courts are very questionable judgments. And indeed, it goes to betray the suspicion and the points that we are making, that it is a well-orchestrated attempt by this government to have an overbearing effect on our judicial system. And it's a shame for our democracy. We call on our judges to stand firm. They should not allow political parties, particularly the government of the day, to dictate to them as to how to administer justice. Indeed, they swore an oath of office to protect and safeguard the fundamental human rights and to protect our constitution. And we call on them to stand by it, to abide by it, and to stand firm, and not to allow political parties to determine their judgments. Ladies and gentlemen, as I indicated to you last week, Friday, the National Council held a meeting. One issue that came up was Akwatia by-elections. And I can assure you, the New Patriotic Party is ready and will fully take part in the by-elections. The committee was set up by National Council, which we refer to as the Elections Committee of Akwatia, chaired by the regional chairman, with the regional secretary as secretary. We have some revered members of parliament, Honorable Oche Befi, New Jabin South. We have Honorable Abnas Osayasari being member, Honorable Kennedy Osenyako being member, Honorable Kodua also being member, the former MCE at Akwatia also be a member, to look and see how best we can select a candidate for the Akwatia by-elections. And indeed, they reach out to potential people who have shown interest to contest the Akwatia on the ticket of the MPP. And through consensus, through deliberations and discussions, they agreed to settle on one person. And that is why there was no, or there isn't any parliamentary primaries at Akwatia. And we must commend the committee for a good job done. And the National Party will continue to provide all the needed assistance to the committee to make sure that the New Patriotic Party retain our seat in Akwatia constituency. Today, being 29th of July, in line with Article 13 of the New Patriotic Party's Constitution, I'm happy to announce to you that we have officially opened nominations for our party members who aspire to become presidential candidates of our party for the 2028 elections. However, there are some guidelines that I need to bring to your attention. First and foremost, the presidential primaries shall be held on Saturday, January 31, 2026. As I've indicated, nomination is open today, July 29th, 2025, and shall close on Thursday, August 28, 2025. An aspiring presidential candidate can procure the nomination forms after the payment of a non-refundable application fee of 100,000 Ghana cedis. So the application fees is 100,000 Ghana cedis. And it must be done through a banker's draft issued in favor of the New Patriotic Party, National Headquarters, Accra. Again, an aspiring presidential candidate shall pay a non-refundable filing fee of 500,000 Ghana cedis. And the payment must also be done through a banker's draft issued in favor of the New Patriotic Party, National Headquarters, Accra. To successfully file your nomination, an aspirant is required to pay a compulsory development fee that will be determined by the National Council. And the forms can be procured from the General Secretary's office here at the party headquarters. Indeed, in accordance with Article 13(1)(11) of the Constitution of the NPP and the motion on transitional clause adopted at the National Annual Delegate Conference, Accra, on Saturday, July 19th, the following delegates shall elect the party's presidential candidate. 1. All members of the National Council. 2. All voting members of National Executive Committee. 3. All voting members of Regional Executive Committees. 4. All former regional executives. 5. All voting members of the constituency executive committees. 6. All former constituency executives. 7. All electoral area coordinators. 8. The 5 polling station executive officers in each polling station. Though there has been amendment to our polling station setup to increase it from 5 to 7. But because the current executive tenure office will elapse after February, therefore the new inclusion will take effect after February. So kindly take note. 9. All members of the National Council of Elders. 10. The 30 members of the National Council of Patrons. 11. All the party members of Parliament. 12. All the party former card-bearing members of Parliament. 13. All former party card-bearing parliamentary candidates. 15. Past national officers. 16. 3 representatives of each of the special organs of the party. 16. All external branch executive committee members. 17. All former external branch executive committee members. 18. Founding members who are signatories to the registration documents of the party at the Electoral Commission. So, friends from the media, this group will constitute the Electoral College to elect our presidential candidate for the 2028 elections come January 31, 2026. In order to ensure a smooth elections, National Council further constituted the Presidential Elections Committee to steer the affairs of the campaign, all issues bordering the elections towards the election of a presidential candidate. And the committee for the Presidential Elections Committee are as follows. We have Honorable Joseph Osei-Wusu, former Member of Parliament for Bekwai as chairman. We have Mr. Kwabena Abankwah-Yeboah as member, Mr. William Yamua as member secretary, Madam Rita Talata Asobare as member, Her Excellency Barbara Benisa as member. We have Honorable Isaac Yabuama as member. We have Mr. Ampofu Edusei as member. Madam Ifwa Jechua as member. And Mr. Evans Nimakon as a member. So it's a 9-member Presidential Elections Committee. Again, National Council also constituted the vetting committee for the Presidential Elections Committee. The chairman for the vetting committee, we have Dr. Kwame Adukufo, a revered and a staunch member of our tradition, former member of parliament for Menchia, and also a member of our National Council of Elders. So Dr. Kwame Adukufo chairs the vetting committee. We have Mr. Stephen Abankwas Sechere as a member. We have Honorable Osei Bonsu Amwa, Honorable Obi Amwa, former member of parliament for Kuapin South as a member. We have Madam Rita Talata Sobare as member. Lawyer Frank Davis as member. Honorable Kwesi Amwakwata as a member. We have Honorable Hakma Usu Ajiman as member. We have Dr. Lord Oblite Kwame as member. We have Madam Elizabeth Ohene as a member, and Mr. Evans Nimakon as the member secretary for the vetting committee. Indeed, friends from the media, this is a piece of information that the New Patriotic Party is giving to the good people of Ghana and to our members in particular. That once again, we have officially opened nomination for all those who are aspiring to contest and to become our presidential candidate for the 2028 elections. Someone will ask, so are they free to start going around to solicit for support and also to campaign to the rank and file of the party? Indeed, the decision of the party is that since we have an important by-elections coming up, which is the Akwatia by-elections, we are all advised and also directed that our attention and focus is on the Akwatia by-elections. And aspiring candidates shall have the right to move around the country to campaign only after the Akwatia by-elections. Only after the Akwatia by-elections. And therefore, we are calling on everyone of this party, all those who are aspiring to contest, that their attention and focus and resources should be geared towards the New Patriotic Party, retaining our seat at Akwatia. And once we are done and we win the Akwatia by-elections and retain our seat, aspirants will have the liberty, the right, and the freedom to move around the country to solicit for support and to campaign to the delegates for the presidential primaries. So on this note, I thank you very much for attending to our call, and God bless us all. Chief. Okay. Where's the noise coming from? Where's the noise? There's a noise outside. Check it. Huh? For Madam Masise and Monya Ajaje Namaba MPP, your headquarters, a central for Shiamwa, Yanemo, a Shiam Ewaha. Ekoma ye di no ejina normal mienu so. Edi kan normal ekoso ewo mem ha. The tosu mienu National Council Asia the second highest decision making body. Emma Osoko Kwama Yoko no Asia and Sema ya research man no say memfa to Ghana for any a party for nyanim no medeba. Edi kan ene muhu se me tuntum ewa ha na ekire se ni braba. Ekire se awrewo so aba. Ne nyina ne se Ghana onwuntuni a ye nyina ye de wawaye ho a sebi wabɔ nnwom be mfie aduasa na ne nnwom a wɔbɔ ekyekyere nipa wrɛ ne nnwom a wɔbɔ ehyenkran se wada ne bonkum so eye mmemme de atwam no de ye nyina afrɛ no Charles Kodwofosu aka Dadulumba na ye a ye wɔ New Patriotic Party de asem kese pa na ato ye areho kese pa na ato ye efise ayonkofo a na eda MPP ene ye nua Charles Kodwofosu ntem no na ye ayonkofo a esombo na so kese pa ye party ye kɔ abatoɔ 2008 2012 and 2016 Dadulumba enuma oboma party no ene Ghana ye ka campaign enuma ya bo a edepa sa anwum no ye frɛ no nana eye wina no eye ade a ye remfida oto sa anwum no osa ye ne remix esa de ka ho entene MPP ye party no arewo kese na ato ye nanso so said ye ka no owu krade a enkwa entimenje tene New Patriotic Party ye de nkransa asem ye de chichire asem ema ye nua Charles Kodwofosu Dadulumba ne yire na busuafo na dofo Ghana fo nyina sekyerefo nyina se ye momo yakɔ Nyankopɔn emfa ye nua ne kra ensie yi ekɔpem bra ye nyina no ye besa hia amen uye no friwa enra na MPP ye di 33 years ebra ye te ye party no na party no ye de hihye bebre ato a ye be celebrate the friend 33rd anniversary no na ebre sim no ye ne central for ebe ka ho asem etosu biem ye nim se okɔ Ghana ye northern part wa ye nim se ene nso ayedin ewo hɔ a nso ento enti ye no ba ye ene akuadwuma ewo hɔ no ɛho ayedin na ye MPP for ye be hye ekuafo a mo the northern part of the country nyina ne be kyeche omo re say ye ni se no mamu odin nanso so ye bompa ye atwani asre Awurade se oma nsuo nto se be ya ye kuafo na adwuma omo ye no ebetimi awie peye nanso so ye se sra aban se wote akonya no so de se odin hyehye ba ebetimi aboa ma kuafo a omo wo Ghana ye northern part wo no obetimi akyeche omo re no aboa omo no aso omase uye no free wa ade Bawku a esa ha ye MPP fo ema ye reho eye de ekoso enam boko crisis no ho nipa sebi obi a onye bone de ebechi ese nam boko sensemuti pabonifo bi akukun omo school fo kro omo ko school a boko asem no inform ho omo nyina nipa ni bi ehwere omo kwa na normal ekoso nyina no ade a ese tu amayofo nyina afo enkanka ye nuammo a omo wandis sebi ene tumi a wopenti ade a ede ntitimu beba omamu ade a ede modahwegu beba omamu enam tumi a wopenti na wo ye echebanya tumi awie no na oman no na wo se no ye be 2024 elections NDC for ensem a okeka oboko now sebi omo hyenko fo kutupa na omo ka se bone bebre efa yerakufo ado ene raba me amamu ho aban ho ni nyina ya ade a ehye nkrofo kutupa ema omo adwen yom se o MPP aban sebi boko ansem no ye ndwene ho na so na ntesa evi se hye the MPP aban the last 8 years ye manage boko ensensem no NDC baye in just 7 months no agiegu na ni nyina afi se bi utwa ntro agidu tumi a ntro ne eba ebeyi wani na se beyi uma na ye amayofo yenti asese ensem a efa nyamesom ho ensem a efa ahini ho ensem a efa sebi ethnicity obi abusua odon na se obi tribe free no yemfa amayosem enkom na nyoma ekoso nya sobo no ye de bo NDC aban so ono enam yakoduru baabi a ye wo sese efise kwanfa nkoye amayosem a kaboko nsem no na kegusu a ye ka na susu MPP ye party a ye dwuro man no na ti o man no mbinti ye nka se NDC afuma kumti ye so befuma dwa na ye mom enam se ye dwuro man no ye do man nti MPP die ye krado se aban no eto ne nsa frɛ ye no ka se ye nyina ye ntenase na bɔko nsensem no ye nhwɛ kwan ya ebefa so ebesiesi a edi asundwe ebeba bɔko ha MPP ya jatum ya ye krado se ye ni aban no ebetenase etoso biem ye nim se ye nanamo eye adwuma ye bɔbɔ ye nana asantehe ene ahefofo mo ka ho a mo hwɛ se asundwe beba bɔko obɔ mo abaso na so adwuma no mo kwantimi nye ye ya mayofo nyamfo ye ho anka ho ni ya mbo mo a adwuma on beye no ebeye din nti NDC aban ya to ama se MPP die ya ye krado so frɛ ye ni nyina ntanse ni ndwene kwaya edi asundwe baba boko a ye no beye adwuma no uye ni fiwa eno ma ekoso galamse ho sensem a NDC aban in the last 7 months said the omachitafo omo party for enkofo omo ne NDC for ko nakra na ese ye japade omo se yensuo omo se bi the kind of a forest reserve no eyade a ebron adwene ntiase so enoma ye hu in the last 7 months no MPP 8 years ye hu sa na so NDC 7 months no echen MPP 8 years ni nya fi se ene NDC for chitafo nyakokodo nyahoden se empo forest reserve ensuo mu kura no omo kokora omo nsuro security agencies omo ho etimi pam ebi mu efri bebi omo wa omo hwe ebo ban se dipabonefo enkotu efom agudie ento amampedi mahama ene NDC aban ye kaimo se de mu opposition na mo kasafa galamse hu no ene tumi na bedi mu nsem na so omampeni agiagu civil society organization for sabi asoy kro awo ha trade union for mo Ghana ha ese mo sori sabre evi se ye japade a NDC aban ye hwehan a ese o man no ekokoko a ebabobo ye nyina atiri so tie nyina yankasem ne tutesu kokko enkyira aban ne se enough is enough ya bre uye no free ho a ena wo hwe atenetene ho nsem eno ma ekoso o mem ho a the brony friend selective justice and abuse of power. A big question that said Chief Justice and now a time ban one a woman in tea. Watching us since saying, Nina said, I ban the percent of funny judges for found for or Macau Massam Amamo. Now, on my Snatsna, Snatine, found with dear or Ghana hustle. It's any one said, and say, what shed judgments be a cocoa memoir? Said the end. Rem kakra na ye nyina na meya hu se NDC aban aye na adwen se tentene adwuma ne de obetie ti omo fa ho di so de first akonya we any judge for mo Ghana Bar Association for kasa se sebi ye judges for mo nya kokuduro na mo hu se Ghana ye tentene ho no asem no mo ne da mo ba na sebi mo tena se ma mayokuo enkaka aban osuso e kire mo de mo nya enuguase ne ba eka Ghana nyina Etente na nko ya eka ye nyina na dachi no Ghana man na se Ghana man e na ba haye. Uye nu firi wa MPP ya boa ye ho a akotia by elections no yebekọ ne yesuso. Na de eka ne se party no ti abedwoku a ye hwe se omonko akotia omne party ma enko tenase na omonkasa. Na omunhwem se hwan ana di party na anim o akotia by elections e beboa ye. Ampa omukohia yesuso omne party ma na oma awiata so na se oma show interest o me contest by election nyina akohia mu e kasai. Amomu nyina age tum se the friend prime minister e be kwa akogya se ento aba ne de enya adu e beboa party no. Na mom omo abetena dem na omo yomu nua baako na odi party na nim o by elections no so. Enti yebebo committee na aba so chairman Jeffa owo Eastern region oni ye MPs se obiti se onabo ochirebe afi onabo abna osasare onabo Kennedy Osanyako onabo Koduamo ene adwuma omaye a ene MPP enya pani a obedi anim e by elections no. Uye ni friwa National Council ishiaye na no ifiada 25th. The National Council can say ene year 29th. Me fanto Ghana fo nyina ni MPP fo nyina anim se ene ye bie akonya ama party mapa a omopese omudi party nanim as presidential candidate for the 2028 elections no ene akonya no aba beda ho a ye bie nominations no. Na ene 29 July ye bie nominations no wi a 28th August Thursday 2025 ye be close nominations no. Uye ni friwa the party ni kan say obi a opese utu franka ema party no the broni friend no nomination forms no opese obeji bia 100,000 Ghana cedis. Ena so we nomination forms no na o submit a bread party no so a eno so party no eje 500,000 Ghana cedis. Ni nyina na ebeje no banker draft MPP din New Patriotic Party National Headquarters Accra and the be banker draft no. Uria party National Council agia tum say BBFN development fees so National Council e de beba na ma support party no yetima boa ama e bibia ma na koso fefefe. Why no free ono the party no esa kan say the pekua January 31, 2026. Omo ebe form the Bronican Electoral College. Na yeyi Franketuniama party no members no na say Electoral College no National Council for nyina abetubi. National Executive Committee omo to aba abetubi. Regional Executive Committees for nyina so beto aba ne bi. All former regional executives betubi. All former constituency executives, all members of constituency executive committee, electoral area coordinators for 5 polling station executives or more to be, members of the National Council of Elders to be, 30 members of the National Council of Patrons. Yemra shebeja fo nyina so beto abanibi. Ana omwa omaye mrashebeja fo so da MPP for nyina so beto abanibi. Ana your former card bearing parliamentary candidate almost omagina MPP da say komoko elections na so mantime win no parliamentary candidate former parliamentary candidates nyina so beto abanibi. Past national officers nyina so beto bi. Ana 3 representatives of special organs of the party almost beto abanibi. Your external branch executives nyina beto bi. And all former external branch executives, omunya so beto abanibi. Founding members or more party no signature or betubi. And all former card bearing ministers and deputy ministers, nkurɔfoɔ a wɔbɛto saa aba no bi. Tescom foɔ nso bɛto aba no bi. Woyɛ no firi hɔ a, all former card-bearing MMDC foɔ nyinaa nso bɛto aba no bi. All regional Tescom coordinators bɛto aba no bi. One Tescom patron also beto aba no bi from Tescom institution. 10 members from each regional council of elders beto aba no bi. 10 patrons from each region beto aba no bi. And at 5 members of each council of elders and at 5 patrons from each constituency. Nkurɔfoɔ a wɔn nyinaa ka ho a wɔn beto aba no bi wɔ saa the delegate conference no. Yaka wei nyinaa wie no. Ese yenya abedwoku a ombehwe ekwan ya ebefa so a yebetoto norma se ebe ya 31st January no bibia no ebekọ no wano ebekọ na sundwie mu. Committee a yate yefen Presidential Elections Committee penny oda no eye Honorable Joseph Osewusu, former MP Omabekwai. Mr. Kwabena Abankwa Yebua eka ho. Mr. William Yamua Treasurer former committee no. Madam Rita Talata Asobare eka ho. Her Excellency Barbara Benisa eka ho bi. Honorable Isaac Yabuama eka committee no ho. Mr. Ampofu Edusei eka committee no ho. Madam Efua Jechua eka committee no. Ana Mr. Evans Nimako esusuka sa committee no ho. Etosu biem committee for fire sa power mo so ometoto nkurɔfoɔ a omenya pepa so megina ano a friend vetting committee so so me nipa nkono peni a oda no Dr. Kwame Adokofo, the former member of parliament mentia a osa member of our National Council of Elders on na bedroom training amasa committee no. Yewo Mr. Stephen Abankwa Secretary eka ho. Honorable Osei Bonsu Amua, also count former MP Equiapin South. Madam Rita Talata Sobare Ekahon. Lawyer Frank Davis, Chairman for Constitutional Legal Affairs, Okahobi. Honorable Kosi Amuakwata, Chairman for Disciplinary Committee, also Kahon. Honorable Hakman Osu Ajiman, our Chairman for our National Council of Elders, Ekahon. Dr. Lord Oblite Kwame, our Chairman for Organizational Committee of our party, Kahon. Madam Elizabeth Ohene Ekahon, Anna Evans Nimakon, Director of Elections, Esuka Sa Committee home. Ejuma Sa Committee nyina babe nyina obia bebu sam se enti efi na ekono omo a onwo pepa se ombetu franka ama party no for 2028 elections no. Omo ho kwan so omekọ Ghana afana nyina no makọbọ apro no maton masem ama party fo ana. The kwasem ne se National Council ne party ne say ebreni bedru. But some ready nam say gina kwonu nti a yekọ akotia by elections no. Obia ni kwan say obekọ round so kwa campaign. Ewo other places or other regions or other constituencies except akotia pe. Nti esro obia say e free sabre ekopim da yebeto akotia by elections na wie no. Obia wo pepe bia na hoodi bia wo bia no fa beka party no. Ne nyina yenye adwumaden na yewini akotia by elections no. Medamu nyina amas. You, Madam, the first one has to do with your question that someone is launching his campaign. I don't know that someone you're talking about, so maybe. Yeah, so it has not come to my attention. And again, if a potential aspirant is launching his campaign, I don't see anything wrong with it. So far as we have opened the nomination today, launching a campaign, I don't think it's any inimical to what we are doing as a party. Then, on issue of your question that is undemocratic or unconstitutional, Well, if we read the party's constitution, it talks about selection of candidates. And consensus building is part of democracy. It's not everything that one has to go for election. In any case, those who would have gone for elections have agreed among themselves that they don't want to take part in elections, but they want to select one of them through consensus. It's all part of the democracy we are all pitching about. And it's something that we must even clap for them, for agreeing that for the sake of the party unity, they want to choose one of them to lead the party. And one also made reference to Madame Amase. She was part of the process. And we have videos and screens of them having meetings and even agreeing on our brother Solomon Kwame Asumedu as the party's parliamentary candidate. So opportunity was given to everyone, and they all came to a consensus that he is the one who should lead the party. Then on the issue of former executives, we are very clear. We said former constituency executives. So former constituency executives are the ones who are going to take part in the electoral college or in the part of the elections. Then it spans from 1992 to date. So all former constituency executives from 1992 will be part of the electoral college. So we thank all of you for joining us for this press conference. Then again, our